The Phil Ochs album In Concert. It was released in 1966 and produced by Mark Abramson and Jack Holzman. So this album of the Phil albums is probably one of the ones I've listened to the least. I got it about 3 years ago on this vinyl copy. I don't think I had listened to this full album before I got it on vinyl. Some of his other stuff I had. Of his first three albums for Elektra and the acoustic folk albums, I think this is the strongest. I don't think it's really live from what I've read. It's kind of like they took his recordings of him talking before songs and the crowd noises and stuff, and put those on recordings of him performing live but alone. And I can't really tell. I think it like creates the illusion of a live album pretty well. And I think that this acoustic like folk song thing that he's doing on these first three albums works really well in this live setting. I think that a lot of the songs benefit from his like little rants that he goes on before them, and those are usually pretty entertaining. I think he was pretty good at that. So yeah, I like this album quite a bit. It's not one of the ones that I listen to more, mainly because I'm into his later stuff more, but this I think is kind of the peak of his like acoustic folk protest period. This album opens with I'm Gonna Say It Now. I think it's a really good opening track, catchy. I like the lyrics a lot. I like Phil's performance a lot. I don't have much to say about it, but I enjoy the song a lot. I think it's a really strong opening track. The second track, I'm probably going to butcher the name of it, but I think it sounds like he says Brucero when he's singing. It's about like the poor treatment of migrant workers and stuff like that, and I mean it's something that's still pretty relevant considering all the the idiocy that's going on in this country right now. And I try not to go on like political rants, but it just kind of like blows my mind a little bit that people like blame all of our problems on people coming into this country when like you can clearly see that the root of all of our problems are just the idiots we have in power, from the local level to the state level to the highest levels of this country. Just nobody that's in office has any business being there, or any business trying to make laws or tell anybody else what to do, because they're all complete idiots. I mean, every party, they're idiots. So sorry, rant over. But yeah, that song's still I think relevant. I like it a lot. I think it's really catchy. There's this part where he sings "Welcome to California" that I really like. Third track, Ringing of Revolution. This is one that I was familiar with before this album. I would listen to it on YouTube a lot. I've always liked this one. He has a pretty entertaining rant that he goes on before it. But you might not recognize some of the names if you don't know some of the older stuff, because he talks a lot about like older actors and politicians and things in it. But yes, I think it's a great song lyrically. I think it's catchy, even though it's like 5 minutes long. Phil's performance is great. I do kind of wish the guitar was a little louder in the mix, but I guess I could say that for a couple songs on here. The fourth track is There Anybody Here? This is almost kind of a sequel to I Ain't Marching Anymore, I feel like. I really like this one as well. I think it's a highlight for me. The lyrics are great. The performance is really good on it. And I really love just the melody of the song. The fifth track, Canons of Christianity, is probably my least favorite track on here. Lyrically, I like it more than I do like the musically. Musically, I think it just kind of is a little bit slow, kind of not as catchy as some of the other tracks. So not my favorite one, but I don't really like dislike it or anything. I like the rant that he goes on before the song a lot. I think it's pretty funny. The sixth track, There But For Fortune, is probably the most famous song on here from the Joan Baez cover, I guess. So kind of a sidetracked story, but a couple weeks, well, I guess it'd be a couple months ago now, my cousin and my brother and I went to see that Bob Dylan movie. And I knew Phil kind of like interacted with him some around that time period, I'm pretty sure. And so I kind of was hoping there would be like some kind of Phil in it, but obviously there wasn't. Of course, they did have this song though. They had Joan Baez playing this song in one of the scenes, so that was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, at least Phil's song got in. So yeah, this great song. beautiful song, still very relevant. All the performance of it, definitely a major highlight. 7th track, Cops of the World. This one, another one that I think still can be pretty relevant today. Lyrically, I like this one a lot. And yeah, I think he's saying something that needs to be said, so I like that one a lot. The 8th track, Santo Domingo. This one, it's pretty catchy. I like the performance a lot. I like the talk that he does before the song, so that one I like quite a bit as well. The 9th track, Changes. This one, another one that might be kind of well known. I know I've seen things or seen videos of Neil Young covering it, and so I think some other people have done this one. And it's another favorite of mine from the album. Just a beautiful song. I love the guitar in it. His performance, just the whole thing's great. The 10th track, Love Me, I'm a Liberal. This is another pretty well-known track of his. Never been my favorite musically. Lyrically, I like it. I think it's still a relevant track, and people still do this song today. I mean, even recently I've heard somebody, saw a video of somebody doing this live with updated lyrics. So it's still a very relevant song that people do updated versions of, and still kind of out there. So that's pretty cool. But as far as the song goes, it's not my favorite, like, musically. But I do like it. The 11th, and then the 11th and final track, When I'm Gone, I think is a great closer, a beautiful song, and kind of really sad way to end the album, but just a great track. So Phil Ochs in concert, I'd say is probably the peak of his acoustic folk period. Definitely my favorite of the 3 albums there, and I'd say this is the one I would recommend the most to listen to from this era. Like if you want to get into his acoustic folk stuff, his more political stuff, this is probably the album to start with. It's I think got the best group of songs on it. It's got really good performances. You get his talking before the song, so you can kind of get some context on it. So yeah, it's a really good album from this early period of his, and I highly recommend it if that's if you're into that sort of thing. If you're not into the acoustic folk thing, then you're probably not going to enjoy it that much. But I think it's a really great album, and yeah, more people should definitely listen to it.